Hey Lionheart folks, it's Lev. Welcome back to another video. For those of you who are new, I use he pronouns. If my face looks a little bit shiny, it's because I've been putting on sunscreen all day when I'm out. Today's video is very different to the typical things I talk about, and it's about road rage. Yes, road rage. Aggressive behavior and road rage. So, I've not really had road rage encounters personally, but I've seen road rage encounters on YouTube. And this story takes place in a car park. And it's a car park of a berry farm, so I went berry picking with my family today. And yes, it happened in the car park. So basically, I was on like the main road. So I wasn't parked in a spot. I was like on the main road. It wasn't really a road, like it was no distinct road, but it was the main road. It wasn't in a parking lot. And I was waiting for this car to pull out on my right. And then I was reversing. I had checked back behind me before I started reversing, and there was no car, and there was no one pulling out of the car. And I was reversing very slowly, and I turned around again, and then there was a car pulling out of the driveway. So I stopped. Like I didn't like full on accelerate reverse. I just let the brake go and just slowly backed up so I could make space to turn right into the parking lot, the parking spot. Yeah, so the car was reversing out, and like it was like 2 or 3 seconds before I checked, and then I turned around again, and then they were there. So I stopped, but I didn't hit them, and I wasn't close to them either. There was no accident, and I wasn't close to them. I did stop, and then there were two people in the car. There was one driver and one passenger. The passenger, who I'm assuming is a cis guy, comes up to the side of my window and starts swearing at me, saying things along the lines of "you're a cunt" and you have two eyes, you should use them. Great. And then alright, I didn't actually respond, and I didn't actually open my window or anything. I was wearing sunglasses. I just looked like this. I was just like staring, and then I just looked away, and then he walked away. And I'm assuming this is a cis guy. I'm assuming. That's why I'm saying he. I'm assuming the driver is a woman. Yep, and so that's all one good. He went back to his car. I didn't really argue with him. I didn't say anything to him because I didn't really want to escalate anything. Because he came at me very aggressively. Yes, I walked back to his car, and then someone in my family got really angry at what he just did to me, like swore at me, for accidentally not seeing them. Again, I wasn't close to them. I didn't hit them. I braked when I saw them. Yeah, someone in my family got really angry, got out of the car, and was swearing at him back, which is basically pouring oil onto the fire. So this person in my family went out of the car, started swearing at him. He was about to get back into the car, and then the person in my family got out, and then he got out of his car again, or he didn't go in his car. And there was first a very aggressive verbal fight. I was still in the driver's seat, just looking out the window, and I had all my car was locked. I locked all the doors. All the doors were locked. All the windows were up because I wanted the barrier in case something happened. And so things started escalating. Like after the verbal thing, swearing at each other, it escalated to the driver of the other vehicle throwing a bottle of a soft drink or whatever, some sugary drink, a bottle at the person in my family. And then the person in my family, he picked up the bottle and threw it back at the driver. And then this just made everything worse. I think I didn't fully see where the other guy was, but I think he got back into his car, and then they both took off. Like it was sort of a loop around. So there were like cars on this side, a road here, and then more cars parked here, and then another road here. So they did like a U shape to get out. And then they were driving around, and then the person in my family is like picking up rocks and eating it at the car, like literally, because it was a gravel road. It wasn't concrete, so there was like rocks, picking up rocks and throwing it at the other car. Um, and there was also a point where the sugary drink bottle, I think the other driver, she threw it out again, and the person in my family, as the car was circling around like this, the person in my family, he picked up the bottle, and the driver's window was open on the other car, like fully open. The person in my family yeeted the bottle. It was like a direct hit at the driver through the window. Oh, and then they got so pissed. The other driver pulled over the car again on the other side of the U. Remember, there was a car lot here parked, road, not a lot of cars parked here, a road. So, and then the guy got out again, and it was literally seconds away from a actual physical confrontation, like physical fist fight, and there was a bystander in the Kragmag who was not involved in this whole incident, who like intervened and said, "Hey, that's enough," and then we, the person in my fam and the other guy went our separate ways, and then that ended there. If it wasn't for the bystander third party person stepping in the middle and ending it, an actual fist fight would have happened. And if an actual fist fight had happened, I would jump out of the car and back up the person in my family. I would punch the guy if the guy hurt the person in my family. I would have went out and backed up, because this is part of why I train martial arts, is to protect not only myself but the people I care about. And I would not be scared to use physical force on someone if I had to. I don't go and assault people, but if someone's hurting someone I care about, that is a different story, and I will not be scared to use physical force. It was, the thing is, when that happened, when the guys came over, I did think, oh shit, but I didn't feel scared, and I could still think logically. Like, I didn't. If this happened, like when I was younger, if I was driving and this sort of thing happened, I would feel terrified to shit, or I would react in a very emotionally unhelpful way that may very well end up escalating the situation. But today, I did feel my heart rate increase. Like, fight or flight was slightly activated. Like, I was a little bit activated, but I was not like, oh shit, like shit scared him fear. Like, I could still think logically, and I would be able to take action if necessary to protect myself. And I'm just thinking, like, you're just immature. Like, you can just come over here and tell me, hey, like, please be more careful next time, watching where you're reversing. I'll be like, okay, cool. And I didn't even say sorry to the guy because he just came at me so aggressively. I would have said, sorry about that. But then he was just coming at me so aggressively. So I'm like, I'm not apologizing to you, because you can't even speak to me like a civilized human being. You just come at me with aggression. And I'm thinking, it's a reflection of you and not of me. Like, you have to resort to swearing at me, calling me a cunt to get your message across. Like, that's just emotionally immature. I'm thinking you're unable to control your emotions, and you're like much older than me. And I'm just thinking, this is just sad, and it's a reflection of you and not me. And some of you may know that I'm very into self-defense and like learning self-defense, and I watch a lot of self-defense videos on YouTube, and I didn't really respond or do anything because I did feel like it was necessary. Like, he can just swear as much as he wants to me and then take off. I'll be like, okay, cool. It's like if he was like trying to break through my window or trying to open the door or do something like that to actually try and physically hurt me, that's a different story. But if someone's just coming at me, and it wasn't that long, like he was saying that, he was talking to me for like 10 seconds and then he left. So I'm like, there's no point, there's no need to respond. Like, he just, okay, you can come swear at me, whatever, and just take off. I'm like, okay, cool. it doesn't really it doesn't really hurt me because I'm not like taking these words and like making it part of who I am and like internalizing it. I'm just like, Okay, you say this, but that doesn't mean it's true. I know I'm not a cunt, so like it doesn't do anything to me. So yeah, and it's also a good thing in a way that people think I'm weak or like unable to stand up for myself. Like me not responding, the guy probably think, oh, this guy like can't even stand up for himself and stuff like that. Because I don't like fighting fire with fire unless I absolutely have to protect my life essentially. Yeah, I want people to think I'm weak because I then have the element of surprise that I'm actually more capable than you think. I'm much more I'm capable of many more things than you think I am. And if people think I'm weak, they underestimate me. And then when my beast mode comes out, whether it be physical altercation using all the things I've learned in training, whatever it may be, it comes out as an element surprise, and that's what I like. So people underestimating me is not a bad thing. But I'm safe, I'm okay, and that's the most important thing. Thanks for watching, folks, and I will see you in the next video.